So, morning, fellow bass lunatics. Um, Gonna take a break from fishing today. Think I might be overdoing it a bit. I'm feeling it a bit this morning, feeling a bit worn out and stuff. But I'm going to the tank at 12:30, so I'm looking forward to that. And if I am fishing, I will be coastal fishing. Just looking for one big fish really this time of year. It's that time of year, right, where you're looking for the big ones. Um, there's loads you could say about how do you catch big bass. But obviously, the first thing is you got to find them, right? In my experience, certainly over the ground I fish, the biggest bass are in the big estuary systems, right? And that means that they can be hard to get at, but not impossible at the same time. Do you always need a big bait to catch a big bass? No, definitely not. But do I use big baits to catch big bass? Yes, I definitely do. Also, that's both are true. One is not exclusive of the other, right? What was I going to say? So I'm excited to let you know that I will have a bunch of new stock in. I have a bunch of stock in at the minute, but I have a bunch of new stock coming too, which is going to include the Feed Shallow 155, right, which is a monster of lure, catches a lot of big fish. It's also going to include a number of these guys. I mean, he's been incredibly successful for me this year. This is the Mega Bass Dark Sleeper. Not actually in that colour, although I have caught on that colour. I have a different colour I prefer more, but we'll talk more about that when they arrive. Loads of these guys in stock. The Sawamura 1-Up Shad. Just, I've spoken at length about why I like those. These I think are a nice fit, right? So these are made up myself. Look at the size of the paddle on that guy. That's the Sayori 2, and that's on the Ulti Head 15 from Exorus, both from Exorus. Gonna make those up and sell them in packs of 3. I mean those tails, and I might even do 3 different colors, and it's already a slot there. If you look, you can see there's already a hole here for your rattle. Okay. Here's the lure I've been doing really well on, which is the Madiel 90, especially when a lot of that small sand eel was around, right? I like this lure not because it's got a big tail, but actually the opposite, because it's got a small tail. So it doesn't do that much, right? It doesn't, it doesn't make a huge big fuss. It's a real visual lure, right? It's all about profile and size. I love it on that Texas, that 10-gram Texas from Exorus, because I can literally throw it right into the weed bed, right? That's the other thing about big bass, right? So we started this conversation. They're creatures of habit. They sit in the same places. Now I know there are people who say, oh, we should just open up, stop fishing is not a secret society or whatever. Well, yeah, fine, but it's not just anglers we have to contend with. It's guys with nets and guys with spears. And look, if you want to spearfish, fine, but if you shoot a 10-pound bass, you're not returning that fish, right? So, that's a 25-year-old fish and a big spawner. So, I personally just keep things to myself, keep myself to myself, do my own thing, right? I don't want any controversy with anybody. Um, um, so that's the same little fella in a slightly different colour. Like those heads, getting those heads in as well. Those heads come in a range of colours. Really like them. I'm going to get them in just because I think they're nice. I like the way they make the lure look. Right. This is one of my favourite colours in the 1-Up shad. It's called Eyes in the Sky. You can see why it works, right? It's got that clear, glittery belly, lovely grey back, just lovely. That's on a 10-gram batchy head. It's lovely swim action. You can tip it along the bottom and it just bangs down. So yeah, so gone looking for a big bass. So it's the coast we're off to. I'm going to focus on fishing big surface lures. I'm primarily going to be fishing the Feed Popper and the Asturi 130. Just love that lure. It's just fantastic. I don't have my sorry, long covers sometimes my brain. Dead Claw Magnums from Gancraft. Oh yeah, and good news on the Z Claws. I'm gonna have Ultimate Fishing in their infinite wisdom have taken over the production of the Z Claw, so I'm gonna have some Z Claws in stock as soon as they come into production. So that's good news, right? I know I'll be keeping one of each colour for myself. So that's it. If there's anything you particularly have been looking for and haven't been able to get, feel free to message me. You can find links to my Instagram, DM me there and stuff through the channel. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's feasible, I certainly will stick it on the order list for you. There are a couple of things I'm disappointed I didn't get the chance to fish this year. This, I think, would have done really well in the river out of the boat, but it wasn't a bait. That's the 7-inch sling shad. Let me show you it the other way around. Not really doing it justice, right? From Megabass, and that's on the coyote head, but it's just lovely profile, right? And bass have no problem grabbing a bait that big. We'll see if I find some deep cutters. I'm heading for an area in Cork. If I find some deep gutters, I might give it a little sling in there, because I'll be fishing the heavier rod, which I've now fished a good few times and my mind is made up. I really like it. It's got lots of backbone, it's got loads of power to send those lures. Haven't stuck any big fish, you know, they've all just been 3-pound fish, right? So I don't know, but I very much doubt that it's gonna have any trouble dealing with fish if it's lower rated cousin, which is the 12 to 24 or the 6 to 24 gram, or 4, is it 6 or whatever, 24 gram. There's that Saori Shad 2 Evo again, and that's on a different head. That's on the rolling head, right? But just a really neat fit. I think it's going to be really useful for estuary fishermen, right? So we're going to knock those up into packets with a variety of colours and a variety of heads already attached. Perfect for the beginner as well, because they're not super expensive. Okay, so that's it, folks. Tight lines today if you go fishing. or whatever. As I say, I'm not sure I will. I really not sure if I feel up to it, and the most important thing at the minute is my health, right? So if I come up a bit later on in the day, I'll grab the rod and go for an hour. If not, I'll just rest today and go tomorrow. Life is long. If 3 years of illness have taught me anything, it's taught me that. It's taught me patience, you know. All things come to he who waits. So that's what we shall do. But in the meantime, tight lines, wish you well, guys. Thanks again for all your well wishes. As I say, great to meet Paul and Gav, and look forward to getting back on the coast again soon. Okay, cheerio.